This is how I help families who have a very wakeful baby or toddler who's waking every 1 to 2 hours, maybe even more often than that, finally get consistently restful nights without any sleep training. It is possible, and I'm going to walk you through the exact process that I guide families through to get there. So if this is you right now, if you're dealing with very frequent night waking, hourly waking, and especially if you feel like you've tried everything but nothing's worked, make sure you hit save. If we haven't met yet, I'm Georgina, and for almost 8 years now, I've been helping families transition their little one out of a very wakeful sleep pattern and into a consistently restful one using a very specific and really effective process. So I have a lot of families who come to me who've been dealing with a lot of night wakefulness for a really long time. And by the time they find me, they have gone down so many rabbit holes and tried so many things. They've looked into health related causes. They've tried things like shorter naps, longer naps, earlier bedtimes, later bedtimes, adjusting wait windows, trying different ways of settling baby, trying different sleep environments, but none of it has helped. And they're like, there has to be a reason why my baby's doing this, but I cannot figure it out. And they don't want to sleep train either, usually because they don't feel comfortable with it or they tried it and it didn't work. And so this is where I come in. I kind of specialize in helping in these kinds of situations because in my experience, most of the time, if you've already ruled out health and stress or separation anxiety related causes, the reason most little ones get stuck in a very wakeful sleep pattern has to do with sleep pressure. Specifically, their sleep pressure isn't reaching a high enough level by bedtime to support longer consolidated stretches of sleep overnight. And this is often the case even when families are pretty sure at first that sleep pressure isn't the reason for the wakefulness. Sleep pressure, if you haven't heard of it before, is one of the two systems in the body that regulate sleep, and it builds while we're awake, and then as we sleep it reduces again. The babies to sleep soundly for decent stretches at night, they need enough sleep pressure in their system when they first go to bed. If they don't, they can have trouble connecting sleep cycles, so wake frequently, or sometimes they can also be wide awake or restless for long periods of the night. When little ones are very wakeful at night and it's been going on for some time, they can get stuck in a bit of a cycle. Because they don't sleep that well at night, they wake in the morning quite tired with extra sleep pressure in their system. And then they naturally try to catch up on sleep by sleeping in or having longer naps or going to bed earlier. But then that catch-up sleep can mean that they don't have enough awake time over the day for their sleep pressure to build to a high enough level by bedtime. And so they're going to another night with not enough sleep pressure and the cycle continues. And sometimes what's also going on, and this is very common for little ones who have lower sleep needs, and a lot of these little ones do have low sleep needs, is that the sleep pattern that they're currently in just doesn't have enough overall awake time from the time they wake in the morning to the time they go to bed at night for sleep pressure to build to an adequate level. So the process I take families through is called a sleep pattern reset and optimization process. And we do two things. First, we prevent catch-up sleep, and that helps shift any excess sleep pressure that's in their system in the morning when they first wake back into the nights. And then secondly, we make changes to their sleep pattern to make sure there's enough awake time over the day from the time they wake in the morning to the time they go to bed at night for sleep pressure to build to an adequate level so that the nights are consistently restful going forward. And every baby's different, of course, so it's about making targeted changes that are specific to that individual baby and following a process to transition them into a consistently restful pattern. And it's really effective. Most families start seeing longer stretches within the first week or two, sometimes even sooner, and then we make refinements to make sure it sticks.